Kids, me not living in fear has already leveled up my life a little bit, and I think we should talk about it. Hey cool kids, I'm Sunny Day Jones. Welcome back to my Fighting Fear series, where I am fighting fear in 2025 and I'm taking y'all along with me on the journey. It's been pretty interesting so far. So in my last video, I talked about different books that I was reading, and they have really been helping me. Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway is probably the one that's been the most impactful, and a really close second is The Mountain Is You, because it really helped me to understand some things about why I freeze myself in fear so often. I lied to myself for a long time and said that I was a perfectionist. And for a while that was a good excuse for me as far as like risks that I wasn't taking and things that I was putting my energy into, like content creation, for example. And I think for me, it really boiled down to being honest with myself about what that really was, which was a fear of failure. Right? You can never fail if you never try. And my reason for not taking the risk, for not putting myself out there, was I just needed to be perfect before I start. And really, it was I need a guarantee of not failing before I start. And that's different than being a perfectionist. I'm still working out the kinks of like a filming setup that also lets me crop so that I can make short form content from like the same videos. And I think this is gonna work. Maybe if I move back a little more. I'm gonna be so hard if I go edit this in post and it's not gonna be enough to crop. So here's the story time of a very specific instance in which moving through fear gave me material results. At the top of the year, an African-American studies professor named Dr. Barlow posted a video on TikTok that was meant to be an introduction to her class for her class, right? Yeah, well, 300,000 followers and a couple million views later, she opened up the app like, oh, I understand that I got the TikTok cadence down, but I'm not teaching that class on this app. Because of the feedback, she has since decided to bring some aspects of her class to social media, and I think that was great. But everybody was instantly like, yo, what are we gonna do? And I immediately said, she has a course load, but I don't. I don't know already, which how could you know? I don't think I've told y'all yet. I have 2 degrees. I have a degree in English from an HBCU and a degree in African and African American studies. So what that means is I was perfectly positioned to teach people lots of things that they wanted to know about African American history. And so I thought, why don't I just upload a video for people who are interested, and they can sign up for the class, and I can just release videos on my Patreon, on my YouTube. I can figure it out. But first, let me at least tell them that there's another option. Let me tell my audience and the audience of Dr. Barlow that, hey, maybe if you can't sign up for hers, sign up for mine and we can do it virtually. Those are the things that I said before I stopped myself and got scared. I got so afraid in that moment. Now, mind you, I'm a teacher. Teaching is what I do. Teaching is damn near all I've ever done, just in different capacities, right? And so I'm sitting here going, why am I so afraid? I just started writing down all the reasons. I started journaling through all of the reasons why I was afraid. Someone's gonna think that I'm biting off of another Black woman's content. Somebody's gonna think I'm stealing the idea. I'm afraid that people say they want to sign up for an African American history course but won't actually do it. I'm afraid that I won't be good enough to teach a class. I've taught classes before, but teaching a group of people that are so hungry for very specific knowledge and my very specific skill set, I don't know if I can handle the pressure of that. I'm really afraid. And then I looked at that paper and I said, I'm gonna feel the fear and I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm going to move this mountain, that is me, and do it anyway. So I uploaded a video. Y'all, overnight, and I must say, overnight, 1,700 100 people joined my Patreon and signed up for that class. So right now we are smack dab in the middle of it. We're having a grand old time, hybrid between like a self-paced class and a live class. So I go live every Thursday on YouTube so that we can talk about the week's lesson that I put up on Tuesday of that same week, which also meant I had to get over my fear of being overly present on YouTube. I don't know if y'all know, but to talk about the subjects that I talk about is a little challenging here in the United States, especially right now. And sometimes the comments can be full of very rude, very uninformed, very nasty people who just can't wait to tell you that slavery wasn't that big of a deal, or Jim Crow, the reason why Jim Crow was so bad is because Black men were so dangerous to women and that they had to be separated for the white women's safety. No, literally, these are comments that I have gotten. And so I was always afraid of going live, of being overly present on YouTube, because I didn't want my content to find the wrong side of the internet. But then I had to flip it and say, well, if you're so afraid of being on the wrong side of the internet, the right side of the internet will never find you. And so I went live, and I've been live, I think 3 times for our class lessons, and it's been amazing. So let's talk some stats, because I told you tangible results came from this. I hit 1,000 watch hours from going live on YouTube. So monetization, in order to get monetized on YouTube, you need 4,000 watch hours, and that could be a pretty big hill to climb. But going live, those live hours count as watch hours. But because I was live and so many of my class, I shouldn't say classmates, so many of my students were watching on live, the live lessons, my watch hours skyrocketed this month. So now I'm 25% of the way there. Here's your reminder to like, share, and subscribe, and watch all of my other videos so that I can get to that monetization point. Patreon. So if you don't know about Patreon, it's an app where creators can make content for their audience, and their subscribers can pay a certain amount of money per month for access to that content. I've had my Patreon going up for a couple of years now, and people there really do support me so that I can do the content creation work that you're seeing now. Okay? I had about 1,000 people, a little over 1,000 people signed up, and overnight that number jumped to almost 3,000. And since I've been teaching the class, we're at about 3,500. Yes. The class is free, and most people are signed up to take that free class. But once they learn that you can become a paid subscriber, people, of course, naturally want to support the work that I'm doing, support the class that they're taking if they can. And so that has also increased my income that I'm getting through Patreon. This is just a small taste of what letting go of fear has looked like for me lately. And for me, it's about shortening the time between having an idea and doing the thing. And that's one of the biggest benefits that just moving away from fear has given me. It's given me the ability to tap into my creative brain, because I'm not afraid of what can come of it. I'm not afraid of what can come of it anymore. When I do have moments where I'm afraid of what my creativity can bring me and what will come of my creativity, I'm able to move past that and embrace the good things that can come with tapping into my creativity as well. I think that's my update. That's my update for right now. Thank y'all so much for watching this video. Thank y'all for joining me. I'll leave the link to my class in my bio, and of course the links to any write-ups that explain this TikTok university thing even further, to the movement really that was started by Dr. Barlow's accidental video, because now there are so many other classes, primarily, I'm gonna say only, by Black teachers and professors who have decided to give of their time and energy to teach people skills, to teach people history, to teach people everything from African American history to financial literacy to braiding hair. And it's been really fun to see. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye. Another part of my fighting fear is wearing pink and or red hair. Y'all, I'm a millennial, and the millennial black girls, if you know, you know. As a millennial black girl, I feel like most of us have a fear about wearing pink or red hair, because if it goes left, if it goes sideways, if you have red hair and you have a bad hair day, nobody wants to be called a specific character from a certain made-for-TV 2000s film. If you know, you know. Leave it in the comments. I'm not trying to look like I found a bike, Holiday. I'm not trying to look like I found a bike.